Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I've got the fourth book of the Brothers Hildebrandt. This is the Marvel Art of the Brothers Hildebrandt. It was published in late 2020, first edition, which is nice because it means it's still fairly available. And, you know, the kind of illustrations in this book, the artworks, these are the things that I remember from my childhood, and just flipping through this and seeing these specific artworks again, like the 9-card chase set from 1994 Flare Ultra X-Men. The Brothers Hildebrandt did that. And it's a great example of just the kind of color and lighting style that they would become so famous for over the years. They would eventually take this into Magic the Gathering. They did about 100 cards or so for WotC in the early 2000s. But this is really kind of the quintessential expression of the Brothers Hildebrandt that I remember from childhood. And so it has a lot of their illustrations. I don't think it has all of them. And then it has a lot of these subject photos where they would get a model to pose, and then the drawings they would initially put together based off of those photos, and then the initial sketch composition and the final work. And so it's amazing to see how much of that material survives and gets published into this book. But, you know, just seeing all these cards, it's incredible to remember all of them and see them all together. I mean, don't you remember that card? I collected Marvel cards in the 90s, 94 Flare Ultra X-Men, and this 94 Marvel Masterpieces that was illustrated only by them. The two brothers did this entire set. So they have a couple other interesting things in this book. There's a comic book in here where they illustrated the entire comic book, and there's an interesting blurb that they would make the comic book, and they would essentially get a huge canvas that was the same aspect ratio of the page like this, and they would paint the entire page. And so they would do the left and the right side on one giant canvas, and then a professional would come in and photograph it and take it to the printers. But when Marvel went to actually publish this comic book, they started at the first page, and Marvel put an advertisement on the left side, and so it shifted everything over a half page. And so when it got printed, this was on the left side, and this was on the corresponding right. And so to the extent that you would have color composition that kind of swept across the pages like this, it was totally ruined by the way that Marvel actually ended up publishing the comic book in the end. So this book itself is really interesting. It's kind of got some weird quirks to it, like the copy editing is a little bad, like this. You know, whoever was doing the editing for it pasted in this picture, but then did not drag from the corner and expand it to fill this. And so there's just some weird sloppy mistakes in the book, but just getting all this artwork together in one place in this great style of the Brothers Hildebrandt. I mean, I read through it when I got this a while back, but sometimes I just sit down and flip through a couple pages and just enjoy looking at the pictures, and just the art style is what I really love about this. So let me know what you think. Did you collect any of these 94 Flare Ultra X-Men, 94 Marvel Masterpieces? They went on to do a bunch of other work in other Marvel sets in that time period before moving on to Magic the Gathering, but let me know. And, you know, what's your earliest memory of the Brothers Hildebrandt? So, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, guys.